with what Claude has designed, we can basically go in and let's say we choose a dusk thing. So as you can see, it changes the entire app. And then again for Sage, it's kind of turning it into this weird kind of a green color, which is just an idea, but you get the gist. So I think that idea is not bad. It's like much more prominent if you're doing the entire app. There is this paper grain effect, which again I cannot see in my screen, so let's keep it on. And now I think it created other screens as well. So it did end up creating the setting screen and the inside or sub screens inside the setting screens, which is decent. It looks pretty cartoonish right now, maybe because of all this emojis that it's trying to use here. So obviously this looks pretty bad. I'm gonna be very honest. This doesn't look very good. I don't like so much colorful icons here. It's literally taking away all the calm and professional look of this app. Yeah, the setting screens are looking really bad. And this is the quick insight screen. So this is something that I kind of showed you on the app as well. We already have it. Current overlay doesn't look really nice in the app right now. So that's why I was like looking for a much cleaner overlay. Again, this is not very different either. The only thing I see is that it kind of looks like a bottom sheet right now instead of an overlay. But the differentiator here is that we are showing a graph here in the quick insights, which could be good. So the overall like UI of this is not bad, but I don't think I will make it a bottom sheet. That should be used for some sort of specific information. So in Mudo right now, you can see quick insights a lot of times. If you are like a power user of the app, if you're logging multiple times in a day, you could see quick insight 3 to 4 times a day. So every time if it's opening up a bottom sheet, it could be a bit intrusive. I think it's not a very good user experience. How would this look in a dark mode? Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. It's fine. Dark mode looks fine too. And this is the weekly report. This is one of the most important feature of this app. Obviously, it did a very weird job of completing it or finishing it. The existing weekly reports in Mudo is much advanced and is much detailed. I wouldn't be able to show it on the simulator because the simulator doesn't have enough data to generate a weekly report. It requires at least 5 days of logging or check-ins in a week to generate it, so that the data is not just random. It has like enough data points to create or find some sort of patterns for you. So if it doesn't have 5 days of data, it cannot do it. So of course, I think it's not taking all the existing code base into account. It's basically working on the older context where I had just given it some brief overview about what the app is and how it works. So once it gets proper code context, I think it's going to work really well. But yeah, on a first glance, not too bad. And this is the streaks sheet. So one thing about Mudo is that I do not try to push streaks in this app because I think it can create a guilty feeling if you miss logging or checking in your mood. What Duolingo does kind of makes you feel really guilty about not doing your lessons and stuff like that. And I don't think that's a very good user experience, but it works for them. Because first of all, it's not really a mental health related app. So that's why I don't really push it, even though the app does support it. So if you are consistent, you can like just tap on this like fire icon and it opens this bottom sheet where you see this detail right now. And if I go to light mode, so yeah, it's not very good looking right now. This is looking decent. It's looking just a bit cleaner. I would say the calendar looks really weird, I think, in this, but yeah, this one looks weird too. Yeah, maybe I'll try to use it. It's like it's trying to grab a lot of attention, right, this calendar, but it's also very clear, like if it's logged, if it's missed. So yeah, maybe we can go with this. Mudo does not really have milestones, but it could be a good idea to motivate the user to come back again. So we can do that, even though I don't like this. I don't like this unnecessary use of emojis. The emojis are just playing one role here, and that's to define the moods that a user can log. And maybe this is what emojis should define in this app, nothing else. So this is the bottom sheet redesigned for custom moods. If you want to change your given 6 moods in the home screen, you can go here and select the other moods that are available. So again, like a single mood can have different names as well. So if you just go long press any emoji or long press any mood in your moods grid in home screen, you can simply swap the mood and then it opens this bottom sheet. So this is what we have right now, and you can easily just select the one that you want. So if you are like not feeling frustrated, or if you want to, if you're not feeling any of these emotions, you can go in, swap a mood, see if whatever you are feeling exists here, maybe like inspired. You can just click on it, and that's how you do it. So it's pretty simple. So the current design of this bottom sheet is not that bad either, as you can see. So this is just looking a bit cleaner, but yeah, not a lot of differences. And the same goes for the emoji. So in your current existing mood, if you don't like this emoji for calm mood, you can go in and just swap the emoji for it. So right now, let's say if you want to have a dove for a calm, you can have that. You can just then log that and it will start using this one. So there is this kind of smaller level of customization also available for users, which I think is pretty good. Now this one is the mood note sheet. So whenever you're trying to add a mood, you can also add a note with it. When you click on it right now, this is how the notes sheet looks like. It almost looks identical. There is not a lot of difference here. Yeah, you can also like select anything from the quick pills at the bottom, or you can just type whatever you want, something like that. And then you just log the mood entry, and then it also shows your note right here. You can also access it from the histories view. This also helps the app to understand you better, and everything, all of this data always stays on your device. So none of it is ever shared with any third-party provider, because there is no third-party provider Mudo is using. So there is no external AI or any API that this app uses that could read your data or process your data. It's all on device, right? So it all stays on your device. Nothing leaves your device. It's all private. So you don't have to worry about adding something sensitive that could end up on somebody else's server. So that's always a concern when it comes to mental health. That was like the main reason I designed or created this app. And the weird part is like most people don't even care. Most people don't care about the data. They're like, so what? So what if a big corp has my mental health or sensitive data? We don't care. Well, yeah, that's good. So anyway, that's actually really about it. And if you would like to see more about Mudo, or if you would like to check out Mudo, you can check the link in the description. It's available for iPhone only. So it's not on Android right now, but I'm trying to port it to Android as well. But for that, I would need 12 testers, because that's Google's policy. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe so that you stay up to date with Mudo's progress and other app projects that I'm working on. I am working on an app in React Native, which is essentially a game. So that would be really interesting. So stay tuned for that. And remember, be a creator, not a consumer.